Well, being paired with Leonard in Tastemakers is definitely an honor. He's someone to look up to. He's my senior in a way. You can see from the design of his furniture, there's a very strong differentiation and yet is a very solid concept. I'm very honored to be with Leonard and the rest of the Tastemakers.
Well, I'm happy because that means I can get a lifelong supply of good yogurt. I'm always respect other people who can create a brand, that can sustain a brand, in the marketplace, So it'd be great to have this discussion with him.
Honestly, of course, I didn't know him prior to this meeting. I don't know his name. I know his hotel. I know the artist that he worked with. Until I really talked to him, that I realized that that is his passion.
Being in the similar industry and having him as someone that started earlier than me and someone that can have such a huge success in the industry. I feel really good. I feel like the sharing that we have together is great. I can learn from him, probably he can learn one or two from me, so it's a great pairing.
It's actually very, very inspiring because this is our first time, our first series in Indonesia, and then amazingly, we couldn't even finalize our shortlisted candidates because there's so many candidates, and we found that it's amazing because the 4 shortlisted candidates, they started the brand in the 20s and then amazingly created a successful business, some of them even before the 30s.
My role as a judge is to select and rank them from the 4 whom I see is the best. So I have to rank them, but I think it's not really easy because all of them are incredible, are excellent and outstanding.
Yeah, of course there's a couple of candidates and then we narrow down to just the 4.
Well, sometimes, a lot of the tastemakers, they are very exposed. They study in the States or, they learn different crafts from international. I think they were able to actually gather what works in the history, and at the same time, through the experience, they can kind of form their vision. It's not like, something just pop up in the head. A lot of them, they actually work very, very hard.
So, Rasmus, what is your definition of being a tastemaker?
I think from my perspective, Tastemakers is someone who have the courage to start something that they're passionate about, that they love about from the scratch. And also at the same time, you have to looking at the market, at this current competitive market, and to find the real opportunity and grab that opportunity and become a very strong product differentiation with a very solid brand concept.
I think for me, tastemaker means somebody who can create trends consistently, somebody that can influence the marketplace or industry or society into doing new things based on these trends. And hopefully somebody who can also make positive impact on this, on the bigger picture.
It's very hard to be a tastemaker today unless you went through a certain period in your life where you start to realize what really matters. Because in today's world where everything is so available to you now, then how can you be a tastemaker unless you start to, pull yourself out of that? It's becoming more important today to be detached from everything that is going on around you.
A tastemaker, in my opinion, is someone that can create a good food. It can be creative about food. Creative in the sense that not only creating a good food, but also at the same time provide a solution to its customer base. For example, what we do, we create desserts that's not only taste good, but also at the same time healthy, so they can enjoy and also at the same time get the health benefits out of it.
So growing up, did you always want to be a hotelier?
Funny you asked that question. Actually, I come from a family who's a property developer.
Right.
And my dad he built his own hotel back in Surabaya. My dad has never told me to do what he wants me to do.
Right.
He just pretty much let me to do whatever I want. Growing up in the construction site in a hotel, it's kind of shaped in a way indirectly. I still remember my dad mentioned to me that he always wanted to have a building to pass on to the generation, to his kids, to his grandkids. And that's where I found my dream since I was a kid, that I really want to have a brand that I can pass on.
Ever since I was a kid, and even in my college year, I started to be an entrepreneur. I started selling jeans on eBay when I was in States studying my college degree. So after graduate straight, I told myself I have to be an entrepreneur. I set up my own business, and I always love about branding and stuff. So that's why I created my brand.
For as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be an architect. But I don't know why I never actually went to architecture school. I took graphic design first, and then I became a product design major. Education gave me the foundation, but my working experience is what really gave me the understanding of what is design is about. And that's when I started to realize that being a furniture designer is also something, a profession, and something that I can truly love. And I always say I'm a product designer, because when you're a product designer, you can design anything.
Correct.
To be honest, no, I wanted to be Indonesia's first Michael Jordan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I want to be the first NBA player from Indonesia.
And then how did you make a switch from?
Because apparently I'm not tall enough, fast enough, or big enough, or shoot well enough. So I have to divert. I studied entrepreneurship and marketing in US at Babson College. After I finished school, I worked twice in the corporate world, big companies. In both companies, I learned not the theory, but learned practical things like how to survive in the business environment, how to excel with the competition. You have to learn how to become humble. You become humble because you start from the bottom. I think that's a very good experience for me.
So Art Hotel, what's the concept and how do you start?
Well, I studied in Boston University.
Okay.
I took business major, marketing, finance, just like everybody else. And I got the internship opportunity in Hawaii with a hotel. And when I work in a hotel, it kind of, all the old feelings start coming back. And that's where I decided to just quit and start my own thing. Yeah, It's about time. So many hotels building in Indonesia, Surabaya, Jakarta, Bali. So far, there is none that can offer a concept that is so different. Well, when we can create a real definition of a boutique hotel. So we decided, we see from our family background, we're actually started as an art collector. We love art, and we really want to make a statement where, the art is not just a decorative perspective, because a lot of art hotel in this world is mostly a hotel with art decorations. But in Art Hotel, we created that the art is actually the main concept of the hotel. That's why the name is Art Hotel. Art comes first.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, actually the first company that I created with my partners, different partners, was an IT company. We did one of the first e-commerce in Indonesia at the time. We meant well, we want to do something different for Indonesia, but it didn't work out, but we learned a lot from it. It happens that we all love food, and we opened up a restaurant with a bar called Blowfish, where actually one of the objectives was to bring in flavors or things that we used to love when we were studying overseas to Indonesia. After Blowfish, I think Social House was also important for us because it's one of our first big-scale restaurant. We did Sky. We did Sky because I always get sick of people saying, how come Indonesia, so we left behind compared to Singapore or Bangkok or Tokyo, nothing on the rooftop with open air, nobody's doing it. It's unique for us, and I think unique for Jakarta. I think it's a destination also.
So Leonard, I understand you are one of the founders of Good Step. Can you tell us the concept behind of the Good Step and why it was formed in the first place?
Sure. The concept itself is a multi-brand retail experience. We started with a lot of local brands and gave them a platform to sell their product and introduce their product to a wider audience. Sure enough, we gained enough trust to continue the journey and become the Goods Apartment, and it's been now almost 6 years, and we have close to 4 stores now and also about 6 F&B concept. What we're really proud of is the fact that we can change people's mindset. We pair them with international brand, put them side by side. People make their choices very objectively. You know, it's not because like I want to buy this because I want to support local product. No, I buy it because I like it. Without having those local brands and actually gave a breeding ground for those local brands to grow, we will never have a supply chain.
Yeah.
How I started Sour Sally was from my passion of eating it. I just finished my master's degree in the States. I used to frequent a frozen yogurt shop there. And then during my graduation, my parents came for my graduation. At that time, I took my parents to one of the stores. There's a huge line at one of the stores. My parents became interested. My parents told me that we could just franchise it, but being an entrepreneur myself, so I told them that this is something that I can study. I can create the brand, I can know and source the products, ask for suppliers to teach me. So that's how I came about.
So you have few locations now?
Yes. 3 total so far.
3 total so far. How do you select your team, for instance?
So when we create Art Hotel, we create the culture, the concept first. Even when we hire, we try to be daring as possible compared to other hotel management in the market. So for example, when we hire front office, housekeeping, we try to look someone who's embodied the culture and the concept of Art Hotel. You know, we create the concept like an X Factor concept, like American Idol. Okay. So we create the judges, consist of our department heads. And then we really do an open house interview, 100, 200 people come, and we just set up a stage, and everyone can perform in whatever they want to. Okay. So some of them do juggling, some of them do comedian, stand-up comedy, some of them do music, play some instrument. The juice actually that we want to see is actually the passion and the confidence. Okay.
How do you maintain such a high standard for each establishment?
To be honest, restaurant business is one very hard and very difficult business, as you know also, because you're dealing with so many people, you're dealing with so many ingredients, you're dealing with so many stuff, you're basically dealing with so many different factors. So we have to have good people, good team surrounding us. And we're lucky enough that we have a good team who believe in our company vision, who believe in the culture, and they are passionate about what they do. So they make sure what we created from the beginning is consistently maintained throughout the lifelong of the establishment. Of course, it's not always 100% perfect. There's always some mistakes here and there. It's only human. But we hopefully, from the team, they learn that every mistake, they learn from it and they don't do it again.
So here we are right now. Your latest invention of your creative invention is industry. Right where we are. Can you tell us more what's happening here?
A few years ago, I came into a conclusion that we have to really take care of people that really support us. Giving them success is not enough. You know, you got to start early on. And that's why I created this concept of a workshop. I always use the analogy of a gym. We built the facility, you become a member, there's workshops every now and then, you pay for those workshops. As a member, you get privileges. If you join a gym, you expect to lose weight or you expect to get buff, whatever. In 6 months, and then 6 months down the road, you're still where you were, or perhaps even worse when you started. I don't think you're gonna start blaming the gym. I don't think you're gonna start blaming your personal trainer. You know, I think you start blaming perhaps yourself. That's where we created the term self-made as well. You know, self-made also refers back to, like, let's say the baby boomers, our father's generation. They are the true self-made people. They are the true entrepreneur, self-made people. The tough love sort of mentality, it's what I believe this country needs.
And what do you think makes your products, our Shelly products, stand out from the competition?
We always try to come up with something new instead of following what is in the trend. We just launched a widely popular product called Black Sakura, and it's made of charcoal. Why charcoal? Because charcoal is healthy.
Yes.
It helps to detox your body. So it brings richness. And then we try to make people happy by eating the product. So we want people to when they eat the product, they don't only eat the what, but they also eat the why. Why is it named this way? So they feel there is a value in what they're eating, and that's the value that we want to offer.
An entrepreneur is someone who can start up their business.
It's someone who basically create the destinies with the vision, execution, and the right kind of tenacity.
Someone who has his own vision, someone who's not scared to show his vision of what he wants to do.
But it's not just starting up. I mean, developing them into a bigger business entity is more challenging for them. And if they can do that, then they can be successful.
Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur?
I hope so. Of course.
Well, what is your definition?
I think entrepreneur is about the mindset, the mentality mindset of an ownership.
Yeah.
Because when you become an entrepreneur, there's a lot of people that will be relying on you.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure that you have this ownership to guard your ship, make sure that it's moving forward.
An entrepreneur is somebody who's willing to take risks, to start up a business from zero into getting established. And being an entrepreneur also means they're consistently doing it. They're not only happy with this one, but consistently trying to get better, not only in their current business, but also growing the business into more opportunities.
It's definitely about problem solving and mindset, because being an entrepreneur is also having no safety net. You know, I mean, can you be alone and not have a safety net around you? Would you be able to be excited the next day when you are at the position, when nobody agrees with you, nobody really vouch for you and believe in your vision? Will you still be excited the next day?
Because entrepreneurs usually build their own business from scratch, so they need a lot of persistence. It's not always smooth sailing. I always like this one quote. It says, success is a journey, success is not a destination. There's a lot of pebbles, stones, turns, U-turns that you have to learn and experience and learn again. So if you don't have good persistence, then you will not be able to make it.
What does being Indonesian mean to you as a person?
I think right now Indonesia is very exciting. A lot of things going on when we see from our parents' generations, and compared to our generation right now, it's totally different world.
Sure.
A lot of younger and younger people to start their own business in Indonesia, start doing their own thing, and very original as an Indonesian as well. So I think these days when we start a business, we are not allowed to just for the sake of making money or make yourself wealthy, but it's about time for everyone to really try to contribute back to the country.
Being Indonesian for me means being proud of where I'm from and what I am. I have to do the best I can do to contribute positively to Indonesia, to bring a better image of the country, and I should do all I can to bring Indonesian-made brands globally, so we can again, as a whole, as a country, we can be proud of Indonesia and what we can do.
Pride comes from respect. I respect what this country is. When I say I'm a proud Indonesian, because this is where a country where it has given so much to me, and at the same time, it gave me the opportunity also to give back. That feeling to be able to give back and to have that opportunity is really priceless. I mean, not everybody can say that. Yeah?
Totally.
Yeah. So I mean, it gave a meaning to your life.
Being Indonesian is maybe teach me to be always on my feet, to be flexible, because Indonesia is not always black and white. But being Indonesian make me proud because I can count on my history, but also I can count on my future, because Indonesia has a lot of history and Indonesia has a lot of future in front.
So do you have any advice for would-be entrepreneurs or even the struggling entrepreneurs that are out there?
Failures pretty much gonna happen here and there. So I guess hard work and perseverance is very important, because you have to make sure you think forward, you have to make sure you can take no as an answer. That never give up mentality is very crucial as an entrepreneur. And lastly, looking at the current market situation, you need to be flexible, to be adaptable in the situation changes, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So for you to be flexible and adaptable in the changes is very crucial for the success of your company.
Advice, okay, I'm not sure if I can give advice, but number one, you have to be persistent, because being an entrepreneur is tough. You have to keep trying and trying and trying. You have to be passionate, because being an entrepreneur means it will take a lot of your time. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, the work becomes a hassle, it becomes a challenge. But if you love what you do, it won't feel like work.
Advice will be the same to entrepreneurs. Everybody, as an entrepreneur, they should have creativity and persistence and a vision, of course, goal in life, what they want to do. But they have to have the most important thing is creativity and persistence to see it through.
The best way to find out is to go at it, don't you think? You know, I mean, you can spend all your life attending seminars and schools and read books and everything. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, you just have to really, you know, get your foot wet and try it. You know, I mean, how many failures have you had? Oh gosh. Exactly. How many failures that I've had? Many. But like I said, you know, those failures can only, it's true, it can only make you stronger.
I think the most important thing that I learned from all the 4 Tastemakers entrepreneurs are that they're also not afraid to delve into each and every aspect of the business, whether it's creating the right menus, creating the right concept for the restaurants, or creating the right product, make something ordinary into a national sensation. The kind of energy, the passion they spend into it, and the kind of vision and execution, it's truly amazing.